where are you at? Where are you going for? Are are you happy where you're at? Or are you going crazy with this? What are you doing?
Well, more than happy with where we're at right now. We didn't want to push like insane 1,000 horsepower numbers,
Yeah.
and of course, we wanted to kind of pay a tribute to the 400R R33 GTR that Nissan put out in 1996.
Yeah.
And on 91, it pushes about 450 horsepower,
Nice.
and
That's a beautiful number for the street.
yeah,
For
for the
sure.
street and the canyons, it's amazing. But now the thing is, one of the other modifications I've got is a flex fuel kit, which means this can run ethanol E85.
Nice.
And so on full E85, this car pushes 561 horsepower on 21
Wow.
psi boost.
That's awesome. Is it hard to get E85 in California? How many gas stations have it? Is it?
There's about 2 miles from where we live.
Yeah.
It's readily available, but Pearson Fuels, which is the distributor of E85 in Southern California, actually has like an app, a locator app
Oh,
that tells you
nice.
every single gas station that has E85.
Yeah.
And E85 is definitely a hell of a lot cheaper than regular.
Then right now, I mean, we're getting
Yeah.
close to $7 a gallon for
Oh, yeah.
91 for 91
Yeah.
octane, which is insane out here.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're nuts here too. Two $2.20 a liter. I don't know the conversion. I'm not going to try and do it in my head, but it's expensive by our standards. It's very
Yeah.
expensive. And yeah, same thing. E85 is cheaper. But there's only one gas station anywhere near me that has it. It's cool. Okay, so these are your happy numbers. The car's running, performing great. You're happy with it?
The car actually got a new transmission because the old transmission was very dated,
Yeah.
and we wanted to make sure that the full drivetrain of the car was up to date and that the new transmission could handle the power as well.
Yeah.
And so we got a transmission from our good friends at Trust Kikaku and TKGT Cars USA, and as well as a rebuilt transfer case at Original Auto. And this car has been running smooth. It feels brand new. And another thing though is the famous high cast all-wheel steering that made this car famous is no longer on this car.
Is no longer?
No, this
Yeah,
gone.
okay.
We deleted the high cast because
Yeah.
as these cars age, the high cast tends to age along with it. And
Yep.
if you're pushing power like this, it doesn't like it. And so
Yeah.
we've seen crashes happen because of high cast that drivers fail to counter steer and counteract with, that it fails.
Yeah.
And that's why we made sure that the high cast was deleted, but the car
Right.
still handles amazing because
Yeah.
it still has the Atessa ETS all-wheel drive.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that too, that the all-wheel steering is good if you keep the car pretty much original and very well maintained. But if you're messing around with things, if you're going for more power, or if it's just showing its age, it's better to run without. So that's
Yeah, most
interesting.
definitely.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I was going to clarify. You said it's still twin turbo?
Yes,
Running twin Garretts? Yeah.
Yeah, twin Garrett 2860 RS. They are amazing. They are amazing.
And you were talking
a lot
about
of folks.
You were talking
Oh,
about
sorry.
replacing the transmission. Is it a new OEM transmission?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of
Sorry,
folks
Julio.
wanted us to. Oh no, a lot of folks wanted us to go single turbo. We didn't want to do that. With all due respect to everyone that has a single turbo out there on their vehicles, on their GTRs, we thought we wanted to keep the heritage of the vehicle alive by keeping the twin turbos the way that it was meant to be.
Yeah. Yeah, really cool. Tribute to the 400R. That's awesome. Kind of making it like if it was coming out more recently. Yeah, just bringing it up to date with some newer technology. Yeah.
We've had the ultimate privilege of actually seeing one 400R in person that's owned by our really, really good friends down in San Diego at Hive Auto Garage. And they have, I do believe it's number 40 or 39 400R, but it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's what we love seeing that car. And that's why we aspire to have the same type of heritage and the same power that the 400R was famous for.
Yeah. Is that the same one that was at SEMA?
Yes,
one at SEMA,
that's
right?
the same one.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. And then what are you doing suspension wise? And
suspension wise, this car is currently running on Blitz coilovers. But eventually, as we go on, we're eventually going to upgrade to Öhlins. Öhlins is going to be
nice.
a big upgrade for sure. But right now, the Blitz coilovers have served us well in the canyons. They feel great. They keep the car totally stable. I get motion sickness in the canyons, and with the suspension that it has right now, no motion sickness.
Yeah.
Absolutely none. It was
Yeah.
amazing. It felt like a ride, like a roller coaster, just
Yeah.
going through those turns with this current suspension setup.
And it looks from pictures too like you've dialed it in more focused on the drive than the look. Like you haven't slammed the thing. It looks not far off of stock ride height. Hey, you just dropped it a little bit on the coils.
So the thing is, it's actually at stock ride height because we live on a hill, and originally the car had a Series 1 front lip, and let's just say the car did, when we took delivery of the car, it was a little bit slammed.
Right.
And the lip didn't last very long in the hills of Southern California. And so we actually raised the car up to stock ride height, and now we bought a new front lip because the old one was just too damaged. It was repaired multiple times in Japan. We could see there was Bondo repair, plastic welds, and so now it's running a OEM Series 2 / Series 3 front lip.
Cool. Awesome. And those raised wheels, they look like anodized blue, or is it a powder coat, or is that the factory finish on them?
Yeah, that is the factory finish on the raised wheels. They are called Race 57 Gainer, sorry. And that is the original. I think it's anodized blue, and they were a very, very limited run. And I still have yet to see anybody run this wheel setup because I do believe these were Japan exclusive wheels.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I'm pretty familiar with the raised catalog, and they look fairly foreign to me, especially in that finish. So that's cool.
Everybody at meets, they look at them, they're like, "What are those raised?" No.
Yeah.
And then they get a close-up look at the wheels, and they're like, "Oh my God, these are raised. I've never seen this style. Oh my God." And everyone says they love the wheels. That's the first thing they say when they see the car. "Oh, I love the wheels. I love the color."
Yeah. Yeah, you don't see too many people running colored wheels these days. It's cool. It stands out. I mean, I guess the wheel is kind of like the R33 of wheels then, it's like gets people's attention and gets them asking questions, right?
Exactly. You couldn't have said it better myself.
It's the car.
I couldn't have said it better.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's why we were like thinking of changing them. Like at one point in time, we were crazy. We were like, "Should we go with the Nismo wheels?" But everybody runs the Nismo wheels. Let's be real here. Everybody runs the Nismo wheels, whether it be the LMGT 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah.
So
totally.
when you get up real close to it, you can see it says Raise Engineering, not just on the center cap, but on the actual rim of the wheel itself, and the lip as well. It's just like our favorite wheel in the world.
Yeah, very cool. And what kind of tires you got on?
You want to answer that one?
The middle.
Yeah, Nitto NT 555s right now.
Nice. Yeah, it's a good tire. Brakes, stock
Brembo.
brakes, or
Stock
Brembo?
OEM Brembo.
Stock. Yeah.
What are you using the R33 for? Are you guys trying to daily that, or are you?
Oh no, it's a garage queen Monday through Friday, and then we only drive it on the weekends for events, shows,
and then just to drive
runs to go to the canyons. I daily a 2018 Toyota 86. That's my daily.
Oh, cool. Okay, you into driver's cars then for sure. That's awesome.
I love that car. It's a great car. That's a great canyon car as well.
Yeah. Digress a little bit from your Skyline, but what do you think of the new one, Nate?
I love it, and I hope to get one soon.
Yeah, it's got a little more torque and fix that torque curve, as far as I understand. It's supposed to be just like pretty much the same kind of formula, but just fine-tuned. I mean, I guess that's what it should be when you get a new model, but it's not always that way.
Yeah, I think they, everyone that I've talked to that has one, they love it, and people wanted a turbo one. I'm like, no, you don't. That's not a speed muscle car. That's a canyon car. Yeah. That's what it's meant for. It's a naturally aspirated engine. Leave it alone. Yeah. They were talking, no, I'm gonna turbo it. I'm gonna supercharge it. No, leave it alone. And with all due respect to everyone that wants to do that, go ahead and do that. Knock yourself out. But I think that it's a heritage car. You want to drive it in the canyons. That's anyone that watched Initial D, knows what that car is meant for. Yeah. So I mean, I love my 2018, and I look forward to getting the new one. I don't know if I'm going to get it this year or next year, but maybe next year. We're probably going to get one.
Yeah.
2018 is the car I learned how to drive manual transmission in, but I daily his old Acura, his old TSX. That's my car now.
Yeah.
And so I like that we keep things in the family. Eventually, this one right here, mine one day.
All right, there you go. It's recorded. It's on camera.
Yeah,
Leo is gonna hold you to it.
Mm-hmm. I will. I put too much money into this car too.
Yeah.
I like to buy parts for the car just to like kind of make it so that I have more of a deeper connection to it. And so I bought some headlight repair kits, some Nismo parts that I'm planning to buy next year. So it's gonna spice up the build a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I love that you guys both learned on really simple driver's car platforms. The Datsun 510, the Toyota 86, just, no extra bells and whistles. Just it's all about the drive, really, with cars like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about having, at least I appreciate the analog experience. I want
Mhm.
everything analog. I don't want, any active LSD. I don't want no traction control. I turn all that, excuse my French, I turn all that crap off.
Yeah.
I want to feel the road. I want
Mhm.
full control of the car.
Yeah.
And, those are both of these vehicles, the 2018 86 and this one,
Mhm.
that's why I love to feel every bump on the road. I know some people hate that because,
Mhm.
oh, my back hurts,
Mhm.
it's a bumpy ride or whatever.
Yeah.
But, that's how I love it. That's, I will never, ever complain ever again when I drive these analog car. I did at first, when I got my WRX, I was like, oh my God, because I went from a TLX to my WRX, and I was like, oh man, I feel everything now,
Mhm.
but I love it,
Mhm.
some people hate it. I love it.
Well, people drive for all different reasons. I mean, a lot of people, it's the car is like a dishwasher, and as long as it runs quiet and smooth and gets the
I
job
don't
done,
want to
they're
feel any
happy, right?
bumps.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the I had to say this, and I got to tell you the story. We took it to the mall nearby here by our home, and it's a very high-end mall, if you will, where
Mhm.
people take their Lamborghinis and the
Right.
Ferraris and all these vehicles, exotic vehicles. And
Yeah.
we said, hey, let's just go for a cruise.
Mhm.
And we took the car, and we just wanted to see what reaction we were gonna get. This was when we first got the car.
Mhm.
And of course, there were guys with Ferraris and Lamborghinis parked, in front of these store shops and whatever. And, you could see the folks that were walking out there, they were kind of ignoring the vehicles, because they see them every day, like, oh man,
Yeah.
Lamborghini, Ferrari, McLaren. And as soon as we rolled by, those same individuals that were ignoring those supercars, I mean, they literally stopped what they were doing and were recording us on their phones. And I was like, oh my God, do we have that much of an impact on society? I mean, car culture, with this vehicle.
Yeah.
It was eye-opening. I mean, there was a guy that literally threw his girlfriend out of the way so he can record us.
Yeah. That's
And I think that
hilarious.
was very satisfying to us.
Yeah.
It wasn't just satisfying, but rather surprising because we took into account the reputation, the so-called reputation of the 33 as being the one that wasn't loved at all. But I don't know. I gotta say the reactions definitely like contradict that statement a lot because
Well,
we've seen R32s drive through that same mall and no reaction for the most part. But
well, you know what? The real world is not the internet, and people may say all kinds of things online. You can get a totally wrong impression of what it's actually like to live with something like that in the real world. So that's a really cool story. Thank you for sharing that.
oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard, Philip, because sometimes we've had some folks that have made us offers, and
Mhm.
they're like, hey, I'm gonna give you this much for it, and it's a very nice number, and it's
Mhm.
and we just look at each other and we're just like, no.
No.
We're like,
Yeah.
no, we're not doing that.
Well, you have to think of what else could you do with that money, and would it bring you as much joy as what you're sitting in right now, you know?
Yeah.
You see, this is my logic. I won't say who, but we were offered around $100,000 in cash
Mhm.
for the car before the current like state it was in. But we thought about it and we just rejected it on the spot because we spent all the time not just waiting for this car to arrive from Japan, this car to have its engine rebuilt, this car, the anticipation and the waiting and seeing the delivery of the car roll off from the carrier,
Yeah.
just all of that will just be out the door.
Yeah.
And the emotional connection that we've had with this car and this chassis number specifically,
Yeah.
it's all for nothing. And that's why this car is really, really more than just a vehicle for us, because it created a lot of amazing memories that we'll never ever forget.
Yeah.
And if we were to just take that offer and buy, let's say, a 34, we won't even have it for 2 years. And then when it gets here, we're just paying for the body. We're not even paying anything else. Like if something's wrong with the motor,
exactly,
or with the transmission or anything else that needs to be done with the car, that's additional. But for this, it's already like the satisfaction is there, and all the money that we spent is money well spent.
Yeah,
that's why
we'll
never take an offer that, you know.
Well, and the other thing you have to think about too is you don't want to do things you regret, right? And if you sell it, unless you put that money away in the bank, you know, chances are you're going to use it for something else. Are you ever going to be able to get that car back again? And even if you did put that money aside in the bank, the values are only climbing right now. Experts are predicting they're not going down anytime soon. So even if you put that money aside, chances are 5 years down the road and you're regretting it, you're wanting another R33 or Skyline of any type, you probably wouldn't even be able to afford it for the money you sold yours for. So it's just not worth it for sure. And especially when you have that emotional connection with it. You know, you guys have done this as a father and son. You've gone in on it. You independently discovered a love for these cars, came together, and then made it happen. It's a really cool story. So I really appreciate you sharing it.
I'll just say this. One last thing. For those who want a Skyline, or want any other car, or who doubt like that they'll get one, dreams are realized when you realize that the dream is not just a dream, but rather an action that you're going to take.
All right, sage words from Jesse. Are we quoting somebody?
No, I just came up with that on the spot. I'm making notes.
Oh man,
I didn't think it was going to sound that cool.
I forgot to mention one more thing, Philip. During JCCS this past year, we had the privilege and the honor to meet Mr. GTR himself, Tamura-san.
No way. That's wild.
And it was crazy because, you know, that's when they were unveiling the new Z that just came out, though. And you know, Sun Kang or Han from Fast and Furious was there, and him and Tamura-san were walking everywhere, right? They were looking at the new Z and everything, and then they stopped at another booth to look at a Z, the Fugu Z, and it was crazy to us because everyone gravitated automatically to Sun Kang, right? Of course, which is, you know, celebrity actor, movie star, and Tamura-san was just by himself. And we were just like in awe.
We couldn't believe it.
That's Tamura-san. That's Mr.
Designer of arguably
that's
one of
your hero there.
Right. And we walked up to him and I said, Tamura-san, I'm so sorry to bother you, but we're huge fans of your work, sir. We're, you know, you're a legend. And our car, you know, we came here to display our car, an R33. He goes, oh, where is it? And I said, oh, it's over there this way. He's like, let's go see it.
Wow.
And I was like, really? He goes, yeah, let's go see it. So we walked over and we were talking to him as we were walking over. You know, we're talking about some of the stories in Japan. And as soon as he got to our spot where we had our car, he was taking video and pictures of our car. And then he proceeded to take pictures with us and, you know, my other son. And I thought it was just amazing for someone of his stature, you know, someone, a legend of, you know, like him to be so humble and to take time to come to see our car. And he was so happy to see our car and so happy to see our love for the car.
Yeah, it shows such an appreciation for the heritage of Nissan performance cars, because he's there unveiling a new car, and yet he's, you know, astounded to see you guys there, true enthusiasts, was something from over 25 years ago, and that level of excitement, you know, for something that he's obviously seen before plenty of times, but you know, he wanted to see yours, he wanted to hear your story, so that's so cool.
I was just in shock when he said, I want to see it. I just couldn't believe it, you know, and that's definitely one of the coolest things. I'll send you that picture as well. I have the photo up on our IG, but I'll send you the full file.
That would be awesome. Yeah,
I'll send it for sure.
Oh
but
gosh,
I guess like closing statements, the 33, and of course like it's to our IG page name, the Forgotten Godzilla.
Yeah, very apt.
For us, it'll never be forgotten. It'll never be forgotten. It'll be the ones that will realize that without the 33, there will be no 34. Like,
Yeah,
think of it like that.
exactly.
Think of it like that. For all of the people that think the 34 is the greatest thing since sliced bread, the 34 would be nothing without the 33.
Yeah, it laid the groundwork for sure, and like you said, it was the 33 that even set the fastest time on the
Yeah,
Nürburgring. So
the
yeah,
fastest official time, the fastest
official.
official time, and the first production car in the world to get a time under 8 minutes on the Nürburgring.
Yeah, I did know that. That's incredible.
Mhm.
I didn't realize the 34 had never set an official faster time. I mean, who knows, you know, different weather conditions, tire setup, whatever, if it could have competed, um, you know, chances are it would have been very close, if not a little faster, a little slower, whatever. The thing is, it's like nickel and diamond, the differences. It's does
Yeah.
it really matter? I think it's a matter of taste. And
Mhm.
on the street, are you going to feel that tiny performance difference anyway? That little bit of weight difference? It's just a matter of how the car makes you feel. Who
Mhm.
cares if it's got 100 horsepower, 600 horsepower? If it makes you feel good behind the wheel, that's what's important, right? And
Exactly.
yeah,
Very well said, Philip.
yeah. Awesome. So glad you guys have such an amazing car and you're enjoying it. You're keeping it. You're not just keeping it as an investment.
Oh
It's
no,
legal.
no,
It's
no, no,
not going to
no.
be taken away. It's not going to be crushed. It's
Yeah,
yours.
that's. Mhm.
Yeah. And you're actually using it. You're pushing it. You're not afraid to get out there and really drive it in the canyon. So that's cool too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The driver's car. That's why
Yeah.
they were made.
Yeah.
We love
Yeah.
driving
Well,
it every single day.
yeah.
Well, not every
Awesome.
single day. Weekends.
Weekends.
Weekends. Weekends.
Yeah. Well, enjoy it, you guys. Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
Philip.
you. Thanks for sharing. Thanks so much. It's a privilege to have you guys and have your car on the website. I can't wait to get the pictures and the story up there. So I'm sure it'll be a popular one, and I hope a lot of people can appreciate it.